Salam, everyone. Today we're delving into the world of a Sharia compliant cryptocurrency that's making waves in the Islamic finance landscape, Islamic Coin.
Sounds fascinating. Right. From what I understand, this project is more than just another digital asset. It's built on the HeyQQ blockchain, isn't it?
Exactly, yes. Islamic Coin is anchored on an ethics first L1 blockchain called HackQQ, which integrates sustainability and a robust Sharia compliant framework.
Yeah, that's pretty unique. And it's not just about being compliant with Islamic finance. It appears they've got a whole ecosystem behind it, with tokenomics that cover everything from remittances to zakat, right?
That's right. The project has an initial supply of 20 billion tokens minted at Genesis, with an overall cap of 100 billion coins. It's designed with utility in mind, facilitating peer to peer remittances and serving as a store
I
of wealth.
see. I also caught that a significant portion of the issuance, like 10%, is dedicated to the Evergreen DAO for charitable giving. That's like building in a social purpose from the ground up, isn't it?
Absolutely, it's like they're not just thinking about profit, but also giving back through zakat and impactful charity initiatives.
Right, and that kind of goes hand in hand with Islamic principles. Speaking of principles, there's the fatwa approval and the Sharia board involvement, including Sheikh Dr. Nizam Mohammed Saleh Yaqubi. That really adds a layer of trust, right?
Yes, indeed. Having a world renowned Sharia board backing the project is a really strong signal to investors looking for authenticity. It's like they've provided a genuine validation that aligns with ethical
I agree.
finance.
But here's a thought. While the mission is attractive, some might wonder about the risks involved. After all, it's an early stage, speculative, and illiquid investment. Thoughts?
Certainly, that's a critical point. The offering is clearly marked as high risk with potential for total loss of capital, and it's targeted solely at accredited non US investors under Regulation
Yeah,
S.
that's a responsible disclaimer. And on top of that, the project isn't FDIC or SIPC insured, right? So there's an inherent volatility in the crypto market that investors need to understand fully.
Exactly, which is why the documentation emphasizes due diligence. They outline that investments in such new projects can be worth risking only if one can afford a total loss, and they highlight exchange rates, gas fees, and other processing fees that might come in play.
Totally. I find it interesting that the offering is structured on Republic's platform with a detailed set of documents available. It seems they've really been transparent about both the potential and the risks.
Yes, and that transparency extends to how the funds have been raised so far. Over $1.5 million from more than 1,300 investors. That milestone in itself is pretty impressive.
Right, it speaks volumes about the community's strength. Speaking of community, Islamic Coin taps into a massive potential market. Over 1.1 billion active online Muslims and almost 2 billion in total globally. That scale is practically astronomical.
It really is. The idea is that if even 3 to 4% of that online community adopts ISLM, holders might see tremendous value, potentially even generating $1 trillion for investors.
Wow. Now, I do have a minor critique on that point. It seems a bit optimistic to assume such a high penetration rate in an already competitive crypto market, wouldn't you say?
I see what you're getting at, and yeah, it's a bold claim. Predicting a 3 to 4% market share among such a vast population is ambitious, but the proponents argue that the unmet demand in compliant Islamic finance gives it an edge.
Fair enough. And then there's the technology side. JQQ's compatibility with EVM and the use of the Cosmos SDK. That opens the door for deploying smart contracts from other ecosystems, right?
Exactly. It's like creating a bridge between traditional EVM chains and a more ethically grounded protocol. The flexibility to deploy dApps ensures a greater ecosystem integration and, in turn, potentially wider usage of Islamic coin.
Yeah. Plus, there's the advisory board that includes members from ruling families in the MENA region, which adds a layer of geopolitical credibility. That's not something you see every day.
For sure, it caters to a niche yet significant demographic, reinforcing its commitment as a Sharia compliant and ethically driven cryptocurrency with aimed sustainability and innovation.
Right, and that could really differentiate it in the crowded crypto space. The marketing and distribution strategies are also worth noting. They heavily leverage social media with over 1 million followers on Twitter, and they're active on Telegram and Discord. That's huge for building trust and community engagement.
Definitely. And it's like they're using modern digital tools to reconnect a traditional financial system with technology that resonates with the younger, tech savvy Muslim demographics.
Exactly. I also noticed that they describe Islamic Coin as a tech driven alternative for zakat collection. That's fascinating because it adds a layer of transparency and trust in charitable giving through blockchain.
Absolutely. The idea is that blockchain can ensure that charity funds are used appropriately with less risk of misuse, which is so critical in fostering broader community support.
Yep, really interesting. One more aspect to highlight is the regulatory canvas. They're quite upfront about restrictions, especially for US and Canadian residents, positioning the token offering strictly for non US investors under Regulation S.
Yes, and that's a necessary measure to comply with the differing regional laws around securities and crypto. It might limit investment opportunities for some, but it ensures that they remain within legal boundaries.
That makes sense. It's interesting how the project balances cutting edge blockchain technology with ancient financial principles. That blend of modern and traditional can be very appealing to the target base.
Right, it's merging the reliability of Islamic finance with the innovation of digital assets. And by incorporating a unique tokenomics model that includes charitable proportions, it signals that it's not just about trading volatility, but also about building lasting societal impact.
Definitely insightful. And still, we must remember the caveat here. Investments in such early stage digital assets come with high volatility, and there's always a risk of liquidity issues post offering due to market conditions.
Precisely. Investors need to be extremely aware that this is a speculative venture. They need to evaluate if the high potential returns justify the risk of a possibly illiquid market and the myriad associated fees.
Right, transparency about risks is key. Overall, what do you think is the takeaway message for someone intrigued by Islamic coin?
I'd say the key takeaway is that Islamic Coin represents a pioneering effort to merge faith driven ethical principles with digital innovation. It appeals not only because it's Sharia compliant, but also for its potential to democratize finance in a community that's largely untapped by traditional crypto modalities.
That's a strong message. And despite some challenges and risks, it's a bold move towards integrating legacy financial principles with the evolving world of blockchain and digital assets.
Exactly. It's a case study in how context specific financial instruments can emerge by fulfilling a unique market need while also addressing global ethical dimensions.
Yeah, it's definitely something to watch. Thanks for breaking that down. It's been really informative. Lots to think about when it comes to balancing innovation with tradition.
Absolutely. And as always, investors should do their homework. Till next time, salam and happy investing.